If I could find a toilet flushing noise right now, that's what we would have for the Miami Dolphins. Hello, this is Ricky Rod and my co-host Gage Gwynn. Welcome to this week's episode of Throwing Bombs. We are now into week 7 of the NFL season. I saw some incredibly good games.
I saw some incredible disappointments as well.
Yes, we did. Yeah, man. Well, hey, it's the NFL, and let's talk about one particular play that had my blood boiling yesterday. Okay, and it doesn't involve the Dolphins. And I watched the Redskins and Cowboys game yesterday. That game did not disappoint. It was a great game. The Skins came to take Zeke out of the game. They wanted Dak Prescott to win the game. Dak took a shot yesterday. Man, he took a hit, came right back, and he played well. They wanted Dak to win the game. You know, that was the Skins' plan. The Skins did enough. I mean, yeah, the Skins did do enough eventually, but really, Dak did enough to win the game, right? Got the team into a scoring position. Right, I think it was a 40-something yard field goal, right?
Yep, and then the penalty on the long snapper, right?
I have never seen that penalty called before.
Me neither, dude.
WTH? What the heck? Like how can the referees be allowed to affect a game like that? I'll never understand. The NFL league immediately, like we're talking within minutes of that game ending, was sending out official tweets about that call, covering their butts, right? So if I'm a Cowboys fan, I would be really pissed. I would be really pissed because that was a divisional game. Lived up to the hype. Lived up to the hype, man. It really did. It was a really good game. I still think in the end, Cowboys are going to pull that one out. Did you hear the trade they made today?
Amari Cooper for a first rounder.
Boom. And you know who that sets the market for, inadvertently? Patrick Peterson. Because that's the rumor out of Arizona that they're going to start unloading all their players. Right? So
it makes sense.
So now you got Patrick Peterson supposedly on the market, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a second, you got a one for Amari, who really hasn't done a lot.
Well, to be fair, his first 2 years he was a Pro Bowler and averaged 1,000 yards each season.
He did good, but he's had the drop season.
Last season he sucked because of the wrong scheme, and then Gruden came in, and it's a really wrong scheme now.
Gruden does not want.
He doesn't want anybody.
You know, no. He wants his own players. What he's going to do. Derek Carr is going to be gone from that team too. That's my prediction. Derek Carr will be gone from the Raiders, and Gruden's going to bring in some old quarterback. Somebody that'll just do. He wants a robot, is what Gruden wants. Okay, so but whatever. So Cowboys got Amari. I think that's going to happen. If not tonight, it's going to happen tomorrow for sure, officially. If it hasn't happened already. I saw a funny tweet. They got a Dez 2.0. I think his ceiling's higher than Dez. To be honest,
it can be,
and I think Dak. I think it's going to help the offense. I also read that it sets them up for the future in case if they get rid of Jason Garrett. I'm like, guys, I don't see that happening.
Well, this is a little like I can compare this kind of. It's a different situation, but hear me out.
Okay.
Of how the Patriots got Josh Gordon to have the number one, because who's Dallas's number one?
I mean, they just didn't have,
exactly.
I mean, Beasley's great. Right?
Yes,
they got some good
guy.
Yeah, they got some good guys. They just don't have like a tall guy.
Right.
Dolphins are in the same position.
Right. And with the Patriots, Gronk's always injured, so who's your number one?
Yeah.
Edelman's finally back now. But at that point in time, they're like, we need number one.
Showed out too.
So Josh Gordon too.
Yeah, so it's a scheme situation. So if you're a Cowboys fan and you're mad, say like you don't want Amari, what you don't understand is that an offense needs a tall, big wide receiver. Because if you just have little dudes, right, they're going to press you. They're going to press you. Now, people point to Kansas City. Well, look at Kansas City. Well, you need to throw that out the window. Andy Reid is very innovative. Patrick Mahomes is on fire. Mm-hmm. They make it work. They do things a little differently, but they make it work. But the Dolphins are a good example. They got a bunch of little wide receivers, and now they're starting to run into situations where Dolphins, where teams' defenses are scheming the Dolphins, right? They've seen them play for a month now, month and a half. And now everybody's screaming, oh, the Dolphins don't have somebody to blow the top off, as far as height, Devontae Parker, right? So Devontae Parker,
we need to talk about that too.
He has been a huge disappointment for the Dolphins since day one. So his agent goes out on social media, trashes Adam Gase, trashes the team. In my opinion, we should get rid of Devontae right now. Oh, yeah. I think they're holding on to him to get some sort of value, but he's just not healthy. He can't stay healthy.
Well, apparently he was 100%, and Gase scratched him for like more personal reasons than his health.
Oh yeah, he's not. Listen, he is in Gase's doghouse. There's probably some things that have happened we don't know about.
Right. Yeah.
The agent's not helping Devontae because Devontae hasn't put it up any stats at all.
No.
0 stats. He hasn't proven anything. And the Dolphins they probably held on to him to get some sort of trade value.
Yep.
And with him being injured all the time, what does that do? Hurt the value, right?
Yeah.
Now, we have proven in the past couple of episodes we are very pro player, right? I want the Le'Veon Bells to get money. I want these guys to get paid, right? Mm-hmm. But in this particular situation, it's going to be weird when you have a player that hasn't performed yet and he's not happy, right? You got his agent doing this stuff. I don't think it helps the player, right?
Well, no.
And listen, clubs, the teams are only worried about the team, right? The GM and the owner is worried about the bottom line. They only care about the quarterback.
Yeah.
They honestly only care. It is very much favorites. I get it. It's not fair, but I would tell Devontae Parker's agent to not say anything publicly because at the end of the day, his player he's representing really hasn't showed out yet.
Right.
Now, do I want Devontae to be successful? I do. It would be great if he would be successful for the Dolphins, but really he's only made a few splash plays at best the last couple of years.
We can point this situation kind of to it could become a Corey Coleman thing where he demands a trade or, he complains about, I'm playing with second stringers. Well, you're not showing the fact that you need to be on the first string.
Yeah. You've got a young kid from Cleveland that got traded, right? Got in trouble, got traded.
He asked for a trade. They traded him within 6 hours to Buffalo.
Got traded again.
He gets cut by Buffalo.
And then
he goes to the Patriots. He does good one game, then he sucks the next 3 games, then they cut him. He's not going to... Devontae Parker's too talented to be in that position. He's a lot more talented than Corey Coleman. But at the same time, it could turn into that.
Yeah, you're right.
So
it's going to be an interesting thing to see what happens with Devontae. But, there's a lot of drama that agents try to bring attention, whatever. I really do wish the best for him, but... there's something we don't know there. Just like there was with Jay Ajayi at the Dolphins. There was a lot of drama with him in the locker room and his antics. And he did some of that stuff at the Eagles, but they were winning, right?
Right.
They were winning, and people just ignored it. Right. And he really did play well for them. And then this year, he's got injuries. He's out, I think. He's done.
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
On his contract year, which sucks. Mm-hmm. So... You hate that. You want every player to work out, but listen, I have seen players they just don't stay on the Dolphins. The Dolphins have publicly said multiple times, we want to be loyal to our players, right? And I have seen the exact opposite. It's because they turn over coaches so often, and coaches want their guys. And it does nothing but hurt the chemistry. It is just a vicious cycle of watching a team be average. So, but anyway, there was some... let's talk about your game, specifically your boys here, the Ravens and the Saints. That proved to be a fantastic game. A very good game.
Yeah, shout out to my arch nemesis John right now.
What was the trash talking like?
Well, actually, I left his house. We didn't trash talk at all because I was driving most of the time.
So it was civil.
I was coming back from Winston, and he goes, "Hey, guess what happened?" I was like, "What happened?" He goes, your boy missed the extra point, and I was like, oh my, because I was driving.
Zerline, right? Is that?
Oh no, Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker. Sorry.
He is the most accurate kicker in NFL history.
I don't think he's ever missed.
He's never missed a point after, and you missed it right now.
What a game! Did you see the Flacco reaction? Like ESPN and NFL Network was showing Flacco's reaction.
Oh no, it was Justin Tucker's reaction. Like right after he kicked it, he
was in shock. He was in shock.
His mouth was wide open, eyes wide open. Like I can't believe it. It's because it was so windy. He overcorrected himself.
I feel bad.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad for you. I feel bad for the team. However, it proves two things. We've been saying this pretty much for the last couple of episodes. The Ravens are a strong team, and the Saints are a strong team.
And also, a good kicker is crucial.
Yes, but seriously though, that proved to be a great game.
Oh, you have two powerhouses.
They're going to be strong at the end of the season. I predicted if they can stay healthy. So Drew Brees is incredible, man.
Saints will probably end up going 13-3, 12-4.
Well,
and
I'm going to tell you, man, they're going to have to watch out for the Panthers, man.
That's actually. I'm telling you, we'll talk about that. In a little bit.
How many points did the Panthers score in the fourth quarter?
21
points. Okay, so I was telling Dad today. My dad, we were yelling about the Dolphins. We were complaining about the Dolphins at lunch today. But Cam, that shows you. That's a good example of the difference between a Tannehill type average quarterback and a top 10 quarterback. Okay,
right.
When you have a top 10 caliber quarterback, I consider Cam Newton a top 10 caliber quarterback.
I think he's fringe, yeah.
He's top 10, and this is why. Because he went there and scored. He was part of scoring those points, right?
Right.
Not a lot of QBs do that.
All right. You consider Carson a top 10, right?
Carson
wins.
Not this year, man. Last year I did.
That game,
I mean,
he was perfect.
He came out great.
Their defense literally blew that
he's good.
Entire
he's
thing.
good. I don't think Carson's bad, but it tells you how special that kind of QB is, right?
Well, yeah.
Where Cam arguably can. That's what he does, and that's the separation. Like I've never seen Tannehill do that, and you won't see Brock Osweiler do that. You won't see those 16 and under ranked QBs do those types of things.
Right.
Alex Smith would do that on the Chiefs. He's not going to do that on the Redskins because it's a different talent level of a team, and their scheme's different.
I can't wait to talk about some of these scores, man.
Oh my God, crazy scores. Well,
let's go
the
ahead
NFL
and start.
and the scoring. Let's talk about we've been talking about it all season. Defense is doo-doo.
Oh my, except for the Ravens.
Yeah, and that's it.
Because Jacksonville's freaking doo-doo this year.
Well, Blake Bortles got benched. Finally got benched.
To be fair, the first 3 games, when he won those 3 games, he was playing
he was
spectacular.
Great. Well, Doug Marrone, they asked him in his press conference, why did you bench Blake? He said he did it to really try to get a spark going. He was, it wasn't anything more than, hey, he wanted to win the game.
Right. The guy that came in scored a touchdown.
He did okay. Yeah, he did okay, but you got to take that with a grain of salt.
I know, but still, you're looking at it like.
And did you hear what their defensive scheme for Blake was? Was like they didn't want to let him run. Right. They wanted to make him think. That's what I swear. That's what I read. I was like, man, they just called him stupid.
Harsh,
they have a point though.
He doesn't make very smart throws. He normally.
Well, he looked like a genius against the Patriots last year in the playoffs.
Man, I don't understand.
It's crazy. He almost beat the Patriots.
I think that becomes a sort of effort level.
Yeah.
That is an effort level problem.
Well, okay. We talk about parity in this league, right?
Yeah.
So you got the Dolphins O-line last week owned, looked great, looked Pro Bowl. This week looked like a bunch of amateurs.
Yeah.
The O-line, we talked about O-line play last week, or D-line, the front. Same thing with our D-line. It is week to week. There's no consistency with a lot of the middle tier teams, and that's why they are middle tier.
Yep.
That's why they are. Talk about the Bengals.
Oh
right?
My gosh.
The Bengals run into a buzzsaw against the Chiefs.
Hey, that Chiefs defense is
Mahomes had
not great.
How many did he have? 4 TDs?
4 TDs. Kareem Hunt had 3 TDs.
Kareem Hunt was like, listen, Mahomes just, if he gets in trouble, he needs to throw it to me. I got you. That's basically what he said.
Well, yeah, it's like, they're, like a dynamic duo.
He's going to break. They say if he keeps on, he's going to keep on going like this, by the way. He's going to break Kurt Warner's record for touchdowns in November.
He already broke Kurt Warner's record for the most touchdowns within 8 games.
That's insane.
Yeah, and they've only played 7 games.
Yeah, I don't. We're watching as historical.
Yep.
With Mahomes, and that was and since he's no slouch, right? Their defense is considered good.
Well,
ish.
Chiefs defense this year is ranked 29th.
Yeah, but that's because they're scoring so much. It's the same thing with the Patriots.
They have also played teams that score a lot
and
too.
the Patriots are built the same way. They're going to score points and they're going to bend.
Yep.
And that was another good game, by the way. Mm-hmm. Patriots, played Detroit. Special teams. They got one there with Cordero. Mm-hmm. Cordero Patterson got them a touchdown.
He's known as a sort of Josh Cribbs person.
No, against Chicago. I'm sorry, they played Chicago, not Detroit. They played Chicago. Mitch Trubisky looked good again. He looked good again.
I still doubt him, but
he's he looks like a different quarterback than last year. You got to admit that.
He's
thrown for more yards in the last 3 weeks than he did entire last year.
Yeah,
I feel
it confuses me a little bit.
Well, it's a scheme. Yeah. It's a scheme. They're changing the scheme there, but good for them. Chicago, I want them to bounce back.
Right. Let's go ahead and go over some scores.
Sure.
Just go from top to bottom. Thursday night game. I was watching the Denver and Cardinals game, and Josh Rosen. I feel so sorry for him because some of those passes were tipped interceptions.
Yeah.
He fumbled a lot. And
didn't what's his name call out his defense?
Von Miller.
Von Miller called out the defense. Denver defense.
Before the game, he said, "We're going to kick their expletive."
Yeah. He was. And the defense. Vance Joseph, the coach, is fighting for his life as a coach.
Hey,
right?
We've won 3 in a row.
Yeah, well, he needs to save his job. And Casey Keenum, he's still not what we saw last year. We've talked about this at length. He's on a team with a different talent level than what he had at the Vikings.
He's on a team with a non-quarterback friendly scheme either.
They just want to run the ball, and that's what they're going to do. So good for them. Good for them. Arizona is a dumpster fire right now. They're going to trade Patrick Peterson. Rumor is the Saints want them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson going to the
scary,
Saints.
Dude.
They're going to get rid of Blairs. While it's going to be with the bottom tier teams. You got the Raiders, right?
Yep.
You got
the Bills,
and then you got the Bills.
You got the Colts.
The Bills. Let's remind the Bills how stupid they are because they could be in it with Tyrod Taylor
exactly
right now. If that doesn't tell you that these NFL coaches overthink things, I think they overthought that. Right?
Yeah.
It's just it does. If I were a Bills fan, because I've seen this as a Dolphins fan. We had a dude named John Beck. Remember John Beck?
That. Yep.
How was he allowed to play quarterback in the NFL, right? So that's what you're watching with the Bills.
That's what I feel like.
They took Derek Anderson.
Oh my gosh!
Off the street,
sitting on a couch 2 weeks ago,
and he got blistered yesterday. He ain't no Vinnie Testaverde. Vinnie Testaverde right now could have gone and probably at least made that a game.
Yeah,
that's the joke about Vinnie. Vinnie, even when he was 58 years old, throwing bombs.
Oh, I know.
I love that. But yeah, he's no Vinnie.
Yeah, man, that Broncos and Cardinals. I just sat there watching Josh Rosen get hit and hit.
Yeah, a rookie quarterback
and hit, and he kept trying to make things happen, and it wouldn't work. So,
all right,
he's hurting the team, but the team is hurting him more.
David Johnson got sort of benched in that game too because the offense was so bad. Well, it's the O-line. Yeah. Again, we've talked about this, but that O-line is putrid.
Yeah,
putrid. All right, go ahead.
Next game, Titans going for 2 and missing it.
I love
the call.
I love the call.
Twice though.
I like Mike Vrabel. I like the call.
I do like him. I like the call because it shows he wants to trust his team, but at the same time, if you screwed up on that first one.
I know.
Your confidence level is pretty low.
I like the call.
Yeah, but your confidence level's low.
I'm with you.
The second one.
All right, so what's next?
By the way, Chargers looking good.
Yeah, they are
5-2.
Yeah, they are.
Patriots and Bears, talked about that
We
already.
talked about that. Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the Colts and Bills a little bit more because Andrew Luck finally showed that his team is willing to help him.
Against the Bills, dude.
Who cares?
Against
Actually,
the Bills.
The Bills, aside from that Ravens game, they have a middle-of-the-road defense.
They do.
And
I'll give you that. But when Shady McCoy got hurt,
oh yeah, it was like, oh no,
he got hurt. LaShawn got hurt.
Yeah,
So
but
it was bad too.
Andrew Luck lit them up, finally showing when people want to come and play for Andrew Luck, they will win games.
Well, it wasn't like he had gaudy numbers either. Like he was just. It was just they ran the ball. That was a big thing. They ran the ball and they played defense.
He only completed like 5 passes.
Yeah, it wasn't incredible, but
250 yards and 4 TDs.
Yeah, it was crazy. It wasn't like these gaudy numbers and these losses where they were scoring 30 points.
Right? I mean,
it was good for him. It's hard for me to say anything positive about him. Whatever. I still think he's overrated. Okay, go ahead.
Texans and Jaguars.
Well, we talked about that. They said, I did find it interesting. Deshaun Watson has a punctured lung, right?
Oh,
so they took him on a bus. They wouldn't let him fly. So he had to take a bus, and he's taking a bus to the Dolphins. Crazy. Right? Well, no, that game's at home. That game's at the Texans.
Oh, so they have to take
By
a
the
bus
way,
all the way.
Dolphins have never won there. FYI.
Oh, well,
never won.
Chalk that down for another.
Yeah, and hey, they're on a roll. They're on a roll.
They've won 4 straight.
Quietly on a roll. We're starting to see teams get back on it. They're one of the teams getting back on it. So good for them.
And we're seeing teams collapse.
Yes.
The Jaguars, 4 straight losses. Texans, 4 straight wins.
Yeah, the defense is mad at the offense. They said people were cussing at each other in the locker room.
Surprise.
Yeah, really.
All right, Lions and Dolphins, talked about that one.
Well, I mean, really, Matt Patricia knows how to scheme the Dolphins defense. He tore up our run defense. I mean, they ran for bazillion yards on us. We were already down basically 3 touchdowns by the time our defense even was able to adjust. Brock almost made it a game. They got within a touchdown, and then they scored on us again, and it was just. I read an article where basically the Dolphins find a new way to lose every week. It's not a consistent way. It's just they lose. It's something new every week. So there you go. No, whatever.
All right, next, Vikings pummeling the Jets.
That was a game in the first half. It got out of control in the second.
Sam Darnold started to lose his composure.
Yeah.
But hey, he's a rookie.
And
he's showing promise.
Kirk Cousins is only getting more comfortable with that offense.
The Vikings are going to strive to a playoff berth.
Yes, I agree.
On the top of their division, I think.
I agree. So, I agree. I agree with that, yes.
All right, next, the collapse, the Eagles and Panthers. Talked about that.
We talked about that, yeah.
All right.
You just can't you can't not count Cam out. Whew, that's hard to say.
All right, Browns losing an OT to the Bucks. When you have 120 penalty yards and 6 first downs off of penalties.
Did the special team player fumble? Is that what I think that's what led to the field goal? There was a fumble. The same dude that got them into scoring position that sort of got the game going was the same guy that fumbled the ball.
Right, but at the same time, like I said, man, 120 yards.
They're a young team, man.
They don't have discipline from their coaching.
No, they don't. The Dolphins had the same problem last year. Horrible, horrible penalties.
Just
6 first
downs. That's dumb.
The opposite of the Patriots. Okay.
Yep. Ravens and Saints, talked about
Great
that.
Game.
I'm going to cry.
Great game.
Cowboys, Redskins, talked about that.
Yep, great game.
Rams destroying the 49ers.
Nothing new there. Yeah, that's Rams.
Todd Gurley destroyed. I mean, they find new ways to destroy someone every week.
Todd Gurley may be the MVP if Mahomes is not the MVP.
If Mahomes collapses or something like
it'll be Todd Gurley.
Then it'll probably be Todd Gurley. Yeah.
He needs to be in the running.
Chiefs and Bengals. Oh,
that was crazy. Yeah, we talked about that.
Bengals are slowly starting to slide off of the radar.
They're one of those teams that we're starting to see stumble, much like the Dolphins.
The difference between the Bengals and the Ravens, the Bengals have beat the Ravens. I understand that, but at the same time, You look at the Ravens' losses; they've only lost by like 10 combined points, aside from that game with the Bengals, which they lost by 10.
Yeah.
The Bengals have lost by like 70 points combined when they lose games.
Yeah, it's bad. Well, that's interesting. But don't. Anyway, I'm not going to count the Ravens out, and
Right.
and then that division's always hard.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not going to count the
and then you
Bengals
got
out
the
either.
Steelers.
This Le'Veon still.
Oh yeah, he's
a
still holding
question
out.
mark.
It's a bye week, by the way.
Hey, surprise!
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we've already said our opinion on that.
Right.
They should trade him,
Yeah,
and he should get paid.
he's not going to get traded.
He's
though.
worth $20 million a year
for sure. All right, and Falcons and Giants coming up tonight because we're recording this on a Monday.
Yeah, I think we picked the Falcons.
We picked the Falcons
yeah.
because the Giants don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I honestly watched their offense and I'm perplexed by what I know. They got some bad O-line play, and I know they're still trying to get things together and they're trying to figure out their scheme. But if they just get Saquon going, right, I feel like that'll get Beckham opportunities. But I don't know. I'm just a pleb. I'm a noob here. I'm just thinking, man. Okay. So anyway, what do we got?
Side note: that Ravens and Saints game, Drew Brees threw his 500th career touchdown.
I saw that.
And he won for the first time for the Ravens, so he's beat all 32 teams. You know
Really?
that he never won against the Ravens until this
and he
year.
beat the Ravens.
Finally,
Son.
they talked about it for like 2 freaking weeks, so that's probably why.
He's like, we gotta beat the Ravens.
Yeah, and then they talked the entire game. They were like, Justin Tucker's never missed a play
You know
a point
what,
after.
man? I love. It still blows me away. He's more accurate than Brady.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drew Brees
He's
is
gonna
the
go
most
down in history
underrated
as
legend.
the most accurate quarterback ever.
Yep, him and Aaron Rodgers are actually like 1 and 2.
Aaron Rodgers, a machine.
But really,
Is another one.
Drew Brees is the most underrated legend of our
I
of
agree.
my
I agree.
generation
I agree.
at least.
I agree. But dude, really, he really has become influential in a city.
Yeah.
You hear more. Now, I'm not saying this is, please don't think that I'm being biased here, but I hear more positive things about him from the community and what he does in the community than I've ever heard, for example, from a Tom Brady.
Oh, I know.
Right? You do either that or Tom Brady's doing stuff and we don't hear anything from the PR machine.
Right.
Right? Maybe Breeze has got a better PR group, but even Peyton Manning, like you heard of the things he was doing in Indianapolis, you heard of what he did in Denver. You hear Fitzgerald from the Cardinals, that he's such an influential guy in his community. You hear about these players, you just don't hear that from Brady. But
Right.
I've always felt that Breeze was always like the number one guy for his community.
And Breeze also ushered in a new kind of era where, Breeze is like, what, 6'1"?
Yeah, man, dude.
He's ushered in a new sort of breed of quarterbacks.
I love the way he throws between his O-line.
Yep.
He's just so good at that.
It's made coaches feel more confident in drafting smaller guys.
Baker Mayfield
exactly
benefited from that.
Exactly. You have Baker. Even guys that didn't do well, like
the
Manziel and stuff
prototypical
like that.
Peyton Manning, Dan Marino,
the 6'5" and up,
the
guy.
6'3s, the 6'4s. They had to be a certain height. And there's
Flacco and Big
Parcells. Parcells was that guy. Parcells always wanted that prototypical QB. Like they had to be. It's interesting how they decide on this stuff. And then these guys start showing out, and they're like, oh, wait,
Right, yep.
All right. Well, Marty Schottenheimer is responsible for probably Drew Brees' career for not using him correctly, by the way.
True.
Blame him.
Well, let's move on to the picks for next week.
Yep, let's do it.
First off, that Thursday night game, which, side note, go to our weekly pick'em. We have the link in our descriptions, right?
Yeah. Kevin Purcell is I think it's the one with the K.
Okay.
I think. Yep. So he texted me this week, but I think I forgot to do mine this week. We have there's a lot of stuff going on with me right now, just in the music business.
Yeah.
that is insane. So I am. There's only so many things I can do, but
It's all good. Well,
we have a audio record of what I chose.
right.
I'll listen to it and figure it out.
At the end of the year, we'll just go back through and skim through these things.
I'm with you.
So,
all right, let's go ahead. We'll fly through these.
Thursday night game, Miami at Houston.
I'm going to tell you now, I cannot pick against the Dolphins. I say this every week, but the Dolphins have never won at the Texans.
All right, don't do a Drew Brees and go over there and win.
Well, listen, we got
it's Brocktober.
I don't depend on Brock, bro. Okay, go ahead. So, just so you know, statistically, the Texans will win.
Right.
Statistically, they should.
Right. Philly at Jacksonville. I'm picking Philly.
Wow.
Because the Jacksonville Jaguars do not have an identity.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess, and they're both not good. Like, they honestly, we're talking about two iffy teams. I'm going to pick the quarterback. I'm going to go with you. I would take Wentz over any of their quarterbacks.
And we got to think, I mean, Philly, again, with the Ravens thing, they've only lost games by a handful of points here and there.
Hey, and Philly's defensive coordinator is Schwartz. He came. Yeah. He's actually a great
Lions, right?
Yeah, he was he's considered a player's coach, right? And he did okay there. And I've always thought he's a better defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
he'll figure it out.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out. I really do think they'll figure it out, but they've got a few weeks, man. When you're trying to figure it out into mid-November, you're in trouble. So,
right, yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Baltimore at Carolina. I got to pick Baltimore. You might pick the...
Where's it at?
At Carolina.
I'm going to pick Carolina. That's going to be a great game. Dude, they are going to punch each other in the face. That is going to be a great
Eric
game.
Reed's going to fight someone again.
It's going to be a great game. I saw that. He needs to shut up and just play football. If I were his coach, I know Ron Rivera is a good guy. I know he's a good guy. Players love him. He really is a player's coach kind of guy. But you've got a player on your team that should be thankful.
Yep.
He's on that team, right? They took a flyer, considering all the issues going on with Kaepernick, and there's a lawsuit involved, and Eric Reed's name is right at the top of that list. He also has a
lawsuit involved, too.
Yes, he does. And no offense to Eric, I want you to have your rights to do your thing. Yep. We live in a great country that allows that, but be thankful, man. Be thankful for what you got. Shut your mouth and play, right? That's what he needs to do. That's what I would say. I mean, I hate to say that, but come on, man. Like, stay out of the press, right?
Yeah.
Just stay out of the press. Don't be calling out other players. He called out Jenkins.
Yep.
Called him the sellout. Very rarely do you hear players do that kind of stuff because from what I understand privately, they're very supportive. Le'Veon Bell, for example, has been texting James Conner, like, motivating him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. They should encourage.
Not try and tear each other down.
No, absolutely not. I think it hurts the players. It hurts the union when they do that publicly.
It is a collective.
Yeah, and if I were a union rep, if I were Troy Vincent or whoever it is, I can't remember who it is. I can't remember, but I would be letting them know, guys, stop with the tweeting. Don't go after each other.
Yeah,
he just needs to stop. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. Jets at Bears. I'm
gonna go with Bears. Yeah. They get back on.
Yeah.
Because they will pick off Sam Darnold. They're going to punch him in the face.
Yep.
That defense will come back.
Buccaneers at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Buccaneers have skid 3 games.
Yeah, Cincinnati. Man.
Well, actually, no, they won.
They won barely.
Last week, barely.
They're not going to beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm going to pick against it. Because I don't want Cincinnati to win, okay?
I know you do. I get it.
Seahawks at Lions. That's going to be a tough game.
Oh, you know what? The Lions are showing out, bro. They
are.
They found a running back. I think they found a running back, and I think Matt Patricia is scheming that team in a very interesting way. Because let me tell you, what's his quarterback's name for the Detroit Lions? Stafford, right? He's got a unbelievable gun, not underrated, but he's one of those guys that has the tool set and just can't win games, right?
Right.
And Matt Patricia's going to figure out what works for him. Mm-hmm. They're going to run that ball, man. It's going to be a hard game. Personally, I have some crazy ideas about the Seahawks. Ownership issues.
Yep.
Their owner died. Mm-hmm. God bless them. That's horrible. All right. I mean, it was like 2.5 weeks before he died. They announced that he had that cancer and he died.
Yeah.
Like within 2 weeks of that announcement. So it was very aggressive. It was very sad. And he did not have kids.
Wow.
And was not married, I don't think. So, the ownership issue is there's going to be an issue there, right?
Yep.
Pete Carroll may not stay.
Right.
And there's only a year left with Russell Wilson. There could be major changes there. Major changes. And if Pete Carroll quits or leaves, he will be a team will have him in 30 seconds.
Oh, for sure.
Right? And then they'll go get Russell Wilson. This could be crazy. So
I just think the Seahawks.
I'm going to go Lions.
Yeah.
You got to go with the home team
The
gauge.
Lions are just so unpredictable.
I know, but in this case, when you have a doubt, I always feel like the home team's going to have a 3-point advantage.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close game.
Well, yeah, I'm going to pick Seahawks.
Okay, cool.
I trust Russell Wilson because he's the only thing that really matters.
I am a Russell Wilson fan. Minus his lazy eyes. Makes me weird. Makes me queasy. Okay.
Broncos at Chiefs. I'm picking Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs.
It's going to be a tough game, though.
Well, they played
Broncos
a few weeks
defense.
ago. They played a few weeks ago.
Yep.
That Bronco defense made them play short ball.
Yep.
Right? Pay attention, fans, friends, if you're listening to this. Pay attention to how that defense is going to press those wide receivers. So what they're going to force Kansas City to just do these little chunk plays, little plays. And you're going to see Kansas City try to adjust and try to set up some pick plays. Like they're going to do these little pick crossing routes.
Yep.
Even though technically it's illegal, they have ways to sort of not to get away from the rule, right? They try to avoid the play, or the rule. But you're going to see Kansas City change up the schemes. They won't change it too much. You watch because they know each other very well. They know each other very well.
Kareem Hunt have about 80 rushing yards and 80 receiving yards.
There's going to be a lot of crazy looking screens, bubble screens. They're going to do all sorts of little stuff. It just depends on if it's at the Chiefs, it may be more wide open.
It is.
It's very hard to play at Arrowhead. So, okay, go ahead. So I'm picking the Chiefs, by the way.
Right. Redskins at Giants. I'm picking Redskins. Redskins are hot right now.
Yeah, okay, so
I say hot loosely. They're winning games. So,
that team reminds me of the Dolphins. They're very inconsistent. The defense looked great against Dallas. The scheme was apparent. I talked about this. They took out Zeke. They wanted Dak to win the game. Dak did enough, but we know what happened. So that Kerrigan is a monster.
Oh, Ryan Kerrigan.
He was all
crazy.
over. He was great yesterday, and there's some talent on that Cowboys team. Alex Smith has turned out to be a very good pickup for that offense.
Yeah.
Because he's actually, in some ways, he's a hair more consistent with shorter yardage situations than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
But Kirk Cousins has a better talent pool around him at the Vikings.
Oh, for sure.
And I think they're going to utilize him better. I think Alex Smith fits that West Coast offense that Jay Gruden likes to run better.
Right.
But anyway, they're struggling in the second half to score, I noticed. So that offense is something like they must not adjust well in the second half.
Right. All right, Cleveland at Pittsburgh. I'm going to pick Cleveland because I need them
I'm going
to
Pittsburgh.
win.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is going to hit November hot.
Yep.
I promise. They will be in the playoff hunt.
Here's a potential snoozer, but a potential high-scoring game. Colts at Raiders. I think Colts. I think Andrew Luck is going to throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Man,
and 2 picks.
It may be a track meet. It may I mean,
they had no defenses, but Andrew Luck is a
Lynch
superior
is out
quarterback.
right now. I think he's out.
He's out. No Amari Cooper now. All you have is Jordy Nelson.
That Raiders situation is.
Can we even
fascinating.
Figure out what's happening there, or do you just have to just watch?
This is what it is. This is 100% what it is. Gruden is not going to let that quarterback have any kind of freelance, right?
That's so dumb.
I watched an analyst talk about this recently. He was comparing what we would consider the best offense in the league is that McVay.
Sean McVay, yeah.
Yeah, at the Rams, right? They're considering that right now. Well, obviously Andy Reid's killing it.
And the Chiefs.
But they're saying what McVay is doing with the Rams offensively is next level.
Yeah.
Because he's running if you pay attention to their play sets, the reason Gurley has been so good this year is that he's flipping the script, of what they're doing. It's very impressive what they're doing compared to Gruden. They said what Gruden's doing is old school, and defenses just know what he's going to do. And he's not making the defense work.
Right.
Is what Gruden's doing. It's the exact opposite of what the Rams are doing.
Right.
So all right, go ahead.
Here's a real big snoozer. 49ers at Cardinals.
Oh my God.
I'm picking the Cardinals.
I
just want to see the Cardinals.
49ers.
I just want to see the Cardinals win.
I think 49ers will scheme better. Okay, go ahead.
Packers at Rams.
Oh my God.
A-Rod's going to win. Prediction.
At the Rams? No. If it's at the Rams, even if it's a close game, I'm going to go with the 3-point home team advantage. That's purely it.
I think A-Rod is going to lead a
he's
fourth
totally
quarter
unpredictable.
comeback.
He's totally unpredictable. That defense, Wade Phillips is going to be pissed off. Wade Phillips never gets pissed off, by the way.
The Packers are unpredictable. Aaron Rodgers is not unpredictable. You already know he's going to ball out.
Yeah, he
but
will.
His surrounding pieces
beg
to differ.
He's so unpredictable, though, that they're just going to have to score more points is what they're going to do. Either that or they're going to run Gurley and control the ball. So, all right, what's left?
Ooh, Saints at Vikings. I'm picking Saints.
Oh.
I'm picking Saints. Their offense is crazy.
Wow. At the Vikings.
When you put up 20...
And it's a dome game.
Yeah.
That makes it even harder. Because you got two dome teams. I'm going to defer. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think they're going to... This is going to be... Man, that's going to be a heavyweight game. Can't wait to watch it. That's a preview of the division.
Right.
Of the playoffs. Okay.
Yeah.
NFC playoffs.
When you score 24 on the best defense in the league, how much are you going to score on an average defense?
And they have been below average, actually. That's
the Vikings?
And their coach hates that.
Yep.
Their coach hates that.
That's what I'm saying.
But I like that coach. So, okay, go ahead.
Final game, New England at Bills. We don't even need to talk about this.
We don't even need to talk about this. Yeah, it's, the Patriots are back to what the Patriots do, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. They have competition this year, and it's Mahomes. Mm-hmm. We just saw a preview of that game with Brady and Mahomes. They're going to meet again. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
For sure.
So, but the Patriots are doing what the Patriots do.
Yep.
They do look like a little bit of a different team this year because with Cordero Patterson gives them something on special teams they haven't had in the last couple of years.
Since Wes Welker.
Yeah, it's been really neat. Not neat as a Dolphins fan. I actually hate it. But again, the Patriots are what the Patriots are. They've built that team around the offense and Tom Brady.
Yep.
That's it. That's the bottom line. They're going to just score more points than you, and they don't care if they give up 38, 58, as long as they score 61.
Right.
Which is really weird. It's really weird because Bill Belichick is considered a defensive genius, and then this is not what we're watching. But he's playing by the rules of the NFL is what they've done.
Can we label the Buffalo Bills the most boring team in the NFL?
Oh my God!
Because
I expected more from that coach.
The difference between the Bills and the Colts, or the Bills and the 49ers, is because those teams are interesting because they have pieces to think about. The Bills don't have anybody.
No, and
the Bills had that rookie, but now he's out.
What? Again, you have an organization that got rid of a player in Tyrod Taylor, who got them to the playoffs, okay?
I'm always going to hate that move.
Right? And they decided they were better off with a rookie and that Peterson dude, right? Is that his name? Peterson?
Yeah, Peterson, yeah.
The worst quarterback I think I've seen in the last 5 years. Okay? That's what they thought. They thought those two were a better option
than Tyrod Taylor. Even just keeping Tyrod and drafting a rookie.
Yes.
And,
so if that doesn't tell you something, that organizations think they know better than anybody else. They really do. They're cocky.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have done the same thing in the past. The Dolphins are going to have a situation with a quarterback at the end of this year. Bottom line, they're going to have to draft. They're going to have to go let's pay attention to what the organization does, because they're going to probably make a head-scratching decision. And I'm going to be sitting here going, what? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, because it's the same... The organizations that continually struggle right? Make these boneheaded decisions. Bills
Right.
made a boneheaded decision. You
And-
could argue the Cardinals did something similar. But they brought in Sam Bradford,
Yeah, and
who
then
arguably
and now he's like,
statistically is not a
money.
horrible quarterback, but they put him behind a horrible offensive line.
Oh my gosh!
Right, and so why would a team draft a QB and put him behind, or put somebody in front of him that is just the worst O line you've ever seen? So,
I know.
Organizations have proven time and time again that they just don't think about this stuff, and it sucks to be a fan and watch teams continually do this. Listen, the Dolphins may get rid of Gase this year and just hit the reset button. I'm wondering if that's ever going to happen. Here I am going, okay, here we go, start again. Or are they just going to go a different direction quarterback-wise?
That's
it's
the same
scary.
thing with my Ravens. I mean,
It's very scary.
You don't know.
Well, y'all,
Flacco's
the hype is strong for Jackson.
I don't know why.
But the hype is strong.
He's showing flashes of Mike Vick athleticism.
I know,
but his accuracy is Mike Vick
it's
level
whack.
also.
Yeah,
Mike Vick Atlanta.
Yeah,
days.
I got you.
Because
Vick,
Eagles Mike Vick was like, wow.
Well, Andy Reid, Marty Morton wig, right?
Yep.
He got into a system that, listen, there's coaches that scheme better around their players.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the bottom line. Andy Reid and John Gruden couldn't be more opposite if you think about it.
Oh, I know.
One coach takes advantage of the strengths of a QB, and one coach does not.
Yep.
He may think he is, but what we're watching is a robot. He wants a robotic QB. He might as well just be playing Madden from that line. You know what I'm saying? So, again, as a fan, we're seeing it from outside in, right? We're not like journalists that like break all these films down and these analysts that do all this crazy stuff. We're not. That's not our approach. Our approach is we're just fans, and there are times I'm so tired of the Dolphins continually doing the same thing every year or every couple of years with resets. It's very hard to be a fan of a franchise that continually resets. So,
for sure.
And you don't want to see that happen as a fan, and you got to be careful as a fan what the organization says to you.
Yep.
Because it is very interesting how organizations handle the press and how they manipulate what's happening. And we're going to close with this. The main thing organizations are worried about are seats, selling seats in the PSLs, right? The Carolina Panthers were the first organization to have PSLs, right? You just don't buy season tickets. You have to buy the right to buy the season tickets, right?
Yeah.
Every major new stadium has taken that on because the Panthers have never lost money, ever. Not ever.
Right.
And it's because of the PSL system, right? Mm-hmm. Owners know, teams know how that works. And even, if they know they're going to put a bad product on the field, you'll notice, we'll do $2 hot dogs. $2, $5 beers. You'll notice things like that. The minute the team starts making the playoffs, prices start jumping, things start jumping. You know how much a ticket is when Green Bay comes in and plays the Panthers? It's crazy, right? You know how much a ticket is when Tom Brady comes in and plays the Panthers?
Oh, I know.
It's nuts, okay? Teams raking in. Oh, man, they make so much money. So, again, Dolphins has some success. They start raising some prices. Now look what's happening now. So I remember a couple of years ago, I priced season tickets. It was nothing if I wanted to get season tickets for the Dolphins. It was a drop in the bucket. Not much. They went up exponentially the year they made the playoffs. So it's just fun to watch. It's bad to watch, to be honest. So, but I think organizations treat their teams and their fan base very differently. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes the Cowboys so special. Like you can hate the Cowboys all you want, but they are arguably the most recognizable team on the planet.
Well, for sure.
Yeah, and it's a brand they built. That family built that.
Yep.
The Joneses, and it's awesome. It's cool. It's cool as a fan. But that's what I argue. Like the Patriots, for example, they'll never be that brand.
Well, no.
Right? Do you think that? I don't think they will.
Well, no, because the brand is Tom Brady. It's
Yeah.
not the Patriots.
Yeah.
It's Tom Brady.
Yeah. And
Because
so the
think
minute
about it,
Brady's
like-
gone, that's it.
Right, and think about like before Tom Brady. Oh man, we got Drew Bledsoe.
And they don't have the history,
Right,
Like a team like the
exactly.
Cowboys.
I mean-
or even the Browns. Like
That's
the
what I was
Browns
gonna
have
say.
more of a history.
The Browns have a loyal fan base
Yes.
like no other.
Yeah. And even the Dolphins, because of their success in the 70s, like there's still people like me that are just die hard regardless.
right.
You know, I grew up with watching Marino dominate, you know, and thank God, at least in my lifetime, I got to watch the Dolphins be good for multiple seasons. My son has never seen that. My son,
Right.
you know, my son's not really a huge Fins fan, but I would love for my son to be able to watch a dominant, like a franchise story 10 years of division wins
Right.
in the playoffs every year.
I mean, I've had the privilege to watch Ray Lewis
Oh my God.
like destroy and
Awesome.
win 2 Super Bowls.
Arguably
The
some of
best-
the best defenses I've ever seen on
The
the field.
2000s Ravens defense is the best all time. I mean, averaging 10 points a game.
Oh, it was great. It was great. And it was, even as a fan, I enjoyed watching that team. It was really fun and it's very special. But hey, we're fans, right?
Yeah.
We're not fans. Like, I'm just saying, don't believe everything you read from the media, especially when you read it from a team. Pay attention. Pay attention to what they tweet. It's really interesting when you start paying attention what the teams do publicly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they have journalists that cover them. It's the same journalists that cover them every year, right? Mm-hmm. And some of the journalists are very pro team, and some of them aren't. The ones that aren't, you don't see in the media as much, right? They
Right.
purposely almost push them down. But there's some out there that are honest about your team,
Yeah.
you know, and as a fan, you need to find the guys that give you the right information. It's much like how you watch news today or read your news. If you're just reading it from one side, whatever side you decide to choose, you're only hearing one side.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so anyway, everybody have a good week. We thank you very much. Our man, Jimmy Atkins, his wife had their baby. And congratulations to them. Check out his Running Man Beard products. Thank you so much again. Support our bombhousepodcast.com page, our Facebook page, all that good stuff. Again, we do appreciate everybody's feedback. We do love you all. Gage, love you, dude.
Love you too, man.
Have a good week.
This has been a fantastic, 7 weeks? Eight
Dude, this
weeks
is great.
now.
I look forward to this. It turns out we should have been doing this a long time ago. I love football.
I
We're going to be
know,
doing this
man.
every year. So
Oh, for
anyway,
sure.
please reach out to us if you have any questions, comments, jokes. But hey, it's week 7, right?
Yep.
And we're getting to that point where we will be allowed to freak out.
Next week we're gonna pick our
Yeah.
our picks, our postseason picks.
Oh, postseason, baby.
Have fun.
All right, man. November is that time. All right, guys. Have a good week. Peace out.
Christian dudes with a mean swag, but we walk around like this Jericho. Laying down that audio, so no smoking in my studio. Sound coming through the stereo. How you feeling shook? Vertigo. All of this confidence, dripping finesse, hitting notes and falsetto. We love tacos, so let Ricky do his thing pronto. Finish this session today, he gon' hit you with the mix tomorrow. Produce, record, mix, master it. Sounding so dope that it gets your pastor lit. Hit after hit after hit after hit, hit after hit. Lickety split. What's that smell? Apple cinnamon. Ready man big, got it from Jimmy Jam. Grab the pen again, let me hear it back again. Let me hear it back again.